All right, let's try to work our way through a busy Sunday afternoon of baseball here in Chicago. The starting pitcher is Freddie Garcia for the White Sox, Dan Herron for the A's, long gone at the finish. In the top of the first, the A's batting against Garcia. A leadoff Kendall by Jason Kendall, or leadoff double by Jason Kendall, DHing for the first time in his career, and Mark Kotze was the A's next hitter. 0-1 in the pitch to Kotze by Garcia. Line down the right field line for a base hit. Kendall is rounding third. He will score easily. Turning at first, holding there is Kotze. As in the top of the first today, the A's take a 1-0 lead. In the bottom of the first, Posednik struck out, but then Iguchi singled. And Thomas singled, and after Konerko popped out and Everett walked, the White Sox had the bases loaded and 2 away with Aaron Rowand coming up. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Swung on, line drive, soft liner, left field, falling base hit. Iguchi will score. Thomas around third. They're going to try to score him. The throw to Melhuse. The tag out at the plate is Thomas. White Sox have to settle for one. Iguchi scored on the single to left. A soft line drive by Aaron Rowand. And then Bobby Kelsey coming up throwing to Melhuse. And Thomas cut down at the plate for the final out of this bottom of the first. And in the top of the second, the A's strung together singles. Scudero, Melhuse. Could Kendall make it 3 in a row? Now the 3-2 pitch to Kendall is looped into short right field. Coming on, Everett goes into a slide and short hops the ball. The ball is in play. Scoring from third is Scudero. Going to second is Melhuse. Kendall dumps the single to right center field, and the Athletics have taken a 2-1 lead. The A's made it 3-1 with Dan Johnson leading off in the top of the third.
2-2 pitch is a deep drive to right. If it stays fair, it's gone, and it is gone. Home run, Dan Johnson, just inside the foul pole, number 4 on the season, and the Athletics lead it 3-1. A towering drive, a high drive down the right field line, and the only question, in or out of the foul pole.
Lots of singletons early in this game. Bottom of the third, the White Sox trying to come back. A leadoff double by Posednik. Iguchi bounced out. Then the big hurt.
Next pitch, bouncer down the third base line. Backhanded and off the glove of Chavez, and it trickles into foul territory. Scoring easily is Posednik. Thomas safe at first with a base hit and an RBI, and it's a 3-2 ball game.
Well, the A's jumping right back against Garcia. Top of the fourth, 2 out. Mark Kotze again celebrating that contract extension.
And the pitch is hit to right, hit deep. Everett going back, still going back to the track, to the fence, gone! Home run, Mark Kotze. Second in 2 days, 8 on the season, and the A's once again up by 2. It's 4-2 Athletics.
Bottom of the fourth inning, Krasinski led off with a single. Uribe hit a ground ball to third, and Chavez threw the ball into right field. And Ozuna hit a ground ball to first that was booted by Dan Johnson. And threw 2 errors and a single in the frame, and the White Sox had a chance for a huge inning as Scott Posednik came up.
Posednik hits a ground ball to second base. They'll at least get the lead runner. Flip to Crosby, back to first, double play, and the run scores. And the A's will take it. 4-6-3 on the Twin Killer.
Then Iguchi bounced out as Herron kept the damage down, but the White Sox would take the lead then in the bottom of the fifth inning. 1 out, a single by Paul Konerko. He would set a career high with 5 hits today. Carl Everett was next up. 2-0 is swung on a high drive, deep right field, way back, no doubt about it, and the White Sox have taken the lead. Everett with a tremendous shot to right field. Well back in the bleachers and dead right. And now it's 5-4 Chicago. His 13th home run. But the roller coaster would continue in the top of the 7th inning. Neil Kotz was on, relieving Freddie Garcia, who went the first 6. 1 out double Crosby, walk is Chavez, then Dan Johnson.
3-2 pitch again, and Johnson hits it into the air into center field. Rowan going back, still going back, all the way to the track, and it's over his head, and it's off the wall. Coming in to score is Crosby. Chavez right behind him. Here comes the throw. Safe. A's lead. 6-5 and over to third, sliding safely is Dan Johnson with a 2-run double, and he puts the A's on top here in the 7th.
Fisher flied to left. Kelty tagged up, went to third. Johnson wound up at third on that double. And then after Swisher flied out and Kelty tagged up, the A's had second and third. And Marco Scudero was walked intentionally. The A's had the bases loaded. Adam Melhuse walking with the bases loaded, and the A's took a 7-5 lead into the bottom of the 7th inning. Heron went 5 1/3. Kiko Calero got the last 2 outs of the 6th inning. Justin Duchscher was on for the 7th. Konerko led off with a single. Everett struck out, and then Aaron Rowan singled, and that brought up Przynski.
And the 1-0, and Przynski lines the base hit to right field. Scoring is Konerko. Rowan to second. He holds on. Swisher gets the ball back into the infield in a hurry, and it's 7-6 in favor of the A's.
Houston Straight was on in the bottom of the 8th inning. Actually, Duchscher began the 8th inning, got the first 2 outs, including a great play by Kotze on Iguchi's ball to straightaway center. The first batter that Straight faced was Frank Thomas. He got Thomas to fly to center to end that bottom of the 8th. The A's looking to add on to their 1-run lead as our ball game got to the top of the 9th inning. And with 2 out, Nick Swisher was at the plate facing the Chicago closer, Dustin Hermanson. 3-2 delivery. It's swung on and hit to deep right in the corner. Everett going back. He's to the one. Gone! And the A's have a cushion. It's a 2-run cushion now as Nick Swisher with a solo home run to right field about 25 feet fair. And it's 8-6 Athletic. Wasn't going to be easy, though. Bottom of the 9th, Street still in the game for the A's. Paul Konerko leading off. And the 1-2 delivery. Swung on, ripped to left in the corner, right down the line, off the foul pole, home run. Athletic. The 4th consecutive hit today for Paul Konerko. A smoking line drive laser shot down the left field line. It hit about 10 feet above the fence and hit right off the foul pole. His 20th home run. Then a base hit by Carl Everett, a sacrifice by Aaron Rowan. A.J. Przynski was called out on strike, and that led to a long discussion after the fact that Przynski was kicked out. Ozzie Guillen spending a lot of time with the umpires, whether or not that was a factor. Willie Harris, meanwhile, was running at second base. It was a long time between at-bats for the White Sox against Houston Street as Timo Perez batted for Juan Uribe. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Swung on line, left center, base hit. We're going to have a tie ball game. Harris around third to score. The ball goes to the wall. Perez goes to second with a double, and we're all tied up at 8-8. Timo Perez comes off the bench with his 3rd double this year. A clean shot to left center, scoring Willie Harris from second, and tying the ball game at 8-8. Neither team scored in the 10th. The A's were facing Luis Vizcaíno in the 11th. Eric Chavez, a leadoff walk. Dan Johnson, infield single. Bobby Kelsey on a tough pitch got a sacrifice bunt down toward third. A's had second and third and one away, and Nick Swisher striding to home plate. And the 3-2 pitch is driven into right. Deep. Perez going back. He's at the track. Reaching up. It's over his head and off the wall. 2 runs are going to score, I think. Going up into second is Fisher with a double. Here's the throw to the plate. The tag. 1 run is going to score. The second run is out at the plate. Dan Johnson. The first run scores Chavez. Dan Johnson had to wait as they tried to score him from second. He was waiting thinking that maybe Perez would catch it. And the relay throw to the plate by Willie Harris, and they nailed Dan Johnson. 1 run on the play as the A's have taken a 9-8 lead in the top of the 11th. Bottom of the 11th, the White Sox got a leadoff base hit by Konerko, his 5th hit of the game. Willie Harris struck out. Rowan popped out. Jermaine Dye was running for Konerko on an 0-2 pitch to Chris Widger. Dye stole second, so Widger was up with a potential tying run at second base with 2 out in the bottom of the 11th. Here's the pause by Street. He's ready. He deals, and it's swung on, bounce to the hole. Chavez crawling in the dirt. He's got it. Gets up, throws, got him, and the A's have won the ball game. A sensational play by Eric Chavez, saving the game for the A's. Going to his left, crawling in the dirt, getting up, firing a strike across the diamond to Dan Johnson, nipping Widger by a half step as the A's explode out of the dugout. The A's win the ball game 9-8. And Robert Vaughn will have the scoreboard when the